Ever get that feeling, when you first put yourself out there online?
Pouring your heart into a website or a blog post and like nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Total crickets. Like
Yeah.
you're talking into the void.
It's the worst.
That was me with my first blog. Turns out I had a zero clue about SEO,
Right.
keyword research specifically.
Yeah, it's the foundation of, attracting an audience organically.
It is?
Think of it this way. It's like you build this amazing coffee shop, right?
Okay.
In a bustling city, prime location, but instead of a big, bright sign, you've got this tiny, cryptic note taped to the door.
Oh, no.
No one knows what you're offering. They just walk on by.
Ouch. Yeah, that's a painful visual.
That's essentially what's happening when you don't use the right keywords.
It's true.
Think of them as those, bright neon signs. That tell Google and your audience exactly what you're about.
It makes all the difference. And that's what we're diving into today, using the ultimate guide to keyword research
Right.
to give you guys the tools to build that irresistible sign right.
Absolutely. And, it's funny, one surprising fact that the guide highlights
Yeah.
is that the vast majority of web pages get zero traffic from Google searches.
It's mind-blowing. It
Yeah.
really is. Like all that effort for nothing.
I know, right?
But it also just emphasizes how important this is. It's not just some optional thing. It really is the difference between being seen or being invisible.
It's huge.
Hmm.
And it all starts with understanding what your audience is actually searching for,
Okay.
not what you think they're searching for.
Right. So instead of caffeinated beverage,
Right.
they're typing in iced coffee recipes or best espresso machines, something like that.
Yes. And those, my friend, are your golden nuggets.
Okay.
The guide refers to them as seed keywords, your starting point for uncovering this gold mine of search terms.
Okay.
Right.
I'm liking this treasure hunt vibe.
Right.
So how do we find those hidden gems?
So one strategy the guide recommends is analyzing your competition.
Okay.
What keywords are they ranking for? What are their customers asking online?
Makes sense.
This isn't about copying.
Right.
This is about uncovering those opportunities that maybe they've missed.
So it's like competitive analysis, but for keywords.
Exactly.
I love that.
Tools can definitely help you identify these,
Right.
but don't underestimate the power of real-world intel, too.
Okay. So what? Give us an example.
Yeah, so what are people saying in, industry forums,
Right.
online communities? Are there niche terms popping up in, the relevant Reddit threads or whatever?
Oh, you know what? The guide actually mentioned this fascinating example of someone discovering this super specific but high value keyword just by lurking in a Reddit thread.
Wow.
Their competitors hadn't even considered it.
Amazing.
So we're gathering all these keywords, feeling like, digital detectives.
It is a bit of a treasure hunt.
It is. But then there's this thing called search volume.
All right.
And I'll admit, this is where I start to feel intimidated.
Yeah.
It's like trying to pick the winning lottery ticket or something.
Well, it's easy to get fixated on those massive numbers, right? I mean, Taylor Swift tour tickets, that's got to be millions of searches.
Exactly. But my little website about, artisanal coffee roasting, maybe not so much.
A little different, right?
Just a tad.
That's where the nuance is key. And the ultimate guide to keyword research really dives into this.
Okay, good.
It reminds us that search volume, it fluctuates
Oh,
throughout the year.
yeah.
Some keywords might be huge in November
Right.
and then non-existent in July.
So seasonality plays a role too.
Absolutely.
Okay, that makes sense. But then what about the keywords that seem to have almost no search volume? Are those even worth going after?
They absolutely can be, especially if they're, hyper relevant to your niche.
Right.
And you're playing the long game.
Okay.
Think of it as a slow and steady stream versus a flash flood.
Yeah. Okay, I like that. I'm starting to see how this all kind of comes together, but still, I gotta say, when I see those high volume keywords,
Yeah.
it's intimidating. It feels like I'm up against these giants, these huge websites.
I hear you.
Yeah.
But imagine those high volume keywords like busy intersections.
Okay.
Sure, there's a lot of traffic,
Right.
but that also means more opportunity for people to discover you.
Okay, I like that. That's a good way to reframe it. But how do you actually stand out in that crowd?
That is where link building comes in.
Okay, so tell us about that.
So in simple terms, it's like getting endorsements from other websites in your field.
Okay.
The more reputable websites that are kind of vouching for you,
Right.
the more Google recognizes your authority.
Ah, so it's all connected, like you were saying.
It is.
Speaking of authority, there's another term that always makes me nervous.
Oh, yeah. With that?
Keyword difficulty.
Yes.
What makes a keyword difficult? Like, what does that even mean?
Think of it like trying to get a reservation at a really popular restaurant.
Okay.
Some are just notoriously tough to get into.
Yeah.
Others are a bit easier to snag a table.
So those difficult keywords, that's like trying to get that, like, prime time Friday night best table in the house.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're super competitive because those websites with a lot of authority
Right.
are already ranking for them. They've already
Okay.
booked that table, so to speak.
So how do we even stand a chance? Like, if I'm writing about, sustainable coffee farming and I'm up against National Geographic or something, it's like
Yeah,
daunting.
it is. It's about picking your battles strategically. And the guide talks about this, viewing keyword difficulty not as a barrier,
Okay.
but as a measure of long-term investment.
Oh, I like that.
Right.
So some keywords are like long-term stock options. You might not see the returns immediately,
Right.
but they have the potential to, pay off big time down the line.
Exactly. Now, before we wrap up this section, I know you had a question about CPC, cost per click.
I did. Yeah, I was a little confused about that, to be honest. I thought that was only relevant if I was running, like, ads.
Okay.
Why should I care about CPC if I'm, focusing on organic traffic?
Great question. Think of CPC as a little sneak peek
Yeah.
into that keyword's potential value,
Okay.
even if you're not paying for ads.
Okay.
The amount that advertisers are willing to shell out for a single click, that tells you a lot.
So a higher CPC means that those keywords are just more sought after, even in the organic world.
Exactly. If businesses are willing to spend, say, $5 a click for organic coffee beans,
Yeah.
that suggests that those searchers are, closer to making a purchase.
Right. They're very high intent.
Exactly.
Okay.
Making that a potentially valuable keyword, even for your organic content.
That is a brilliant insight. I never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
It's like we all look at the price tag, right?
Sure.
Even if you're not, buying that second, you get a sense of like, oh, this is a valuable product.
Absolutely.
People are willing to pay for it. Okay, I feel like I just downed like a triple espresso.
Oh, yeah.
My brain is buzzing with all these keywords.
It's a lot.
It is a lot. It's like I have all these puzzle pieces. Right.
But I'm not sure how to put them together into like an actual content strategy.
Right.
And the ultimate guide to keyword research, it hints at this a little bit.
Yeah.
Help us out here. What do we do?
Well, you wouldn't create a separate page for every single keyword variation,
Honestly,
right?
that would be insane.
Yeah. So it's about understanding this concept of like parent topics, right?
Okay.
And the guide gives this example of whipped coffee.
Okay.
You wouldn't need individual pages for whipped coffee recipe and how to make whipped coffee and best whipped coffee variations.
Because they're all under that like umbrella of
Exactly. Precisely. Think of it like, organizing a bookstore, right?
Okay.
You wouldn't just scatter all the books randomly. You group them by,
Genre
theme, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Parent topics help you to create that same kind of logical structure for your website.
So you could have one like awesome, delicious, in-depth article
Right.
about whipped coffee, and it could potentially rank for all of those variations.
Precisely. And the guide actually gives you this like really clever little trick to figure this out.
Okay.
Compare the search results, right?
Okay.
For those different variations. If those top-ranking pages are all pretty much identical,
Right.
that's a good sign that to Google, they all kind of fall into the same parent topic.
Oh, that's such a good tactical tip. I love that. And I'm guessing there are probably tools out there that can help us
Yeah.
with this whole like clustering process.
Absolutely. There are a bunch of tools that can analyze keyword relationships, group them by relevance, search intent, all that good stuff.
So it's like having a little like digital assistant
Right.
who's organizing your like keyword library for you.
Exactly.
So much better than my jumbled spreadsheet, I'll tell you that.
I bet.
Well, this has been amazing. I feel like this entire deep dive has just been like such a game changer.
I'm so glad to hear that.
For real.
And remember, keyword research, it's a journey.
It is, yeah.
It's ongoing. And the beautiful thing is, as you start creating content,
right?
as you analyze what's working, what's resonating,
Yeah.
you will uncover more valuable keywords. You can refine your strategy along the way.
It's like that quote, the best way to predict the future is to create it.
Ooh, I love that one. And on that note,
Yeah.
I'm going to leave you with one final thought.
Okay, hit me.
Pay attention to your own online behavior. What are the keywords that are leading you
Right.
to your favorite articles, your favorite products, whatever?
That's That's such a good point. It's like we're all doing keyword research
All the time.
without even realizing it.
Exactly. So by understanding the principles behind it, that's when you can unlock a whole world of organic traffic.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, connect with your ideal audience in a whole new way.
Well, to our listeners, as you embark on your own keyword adventures,
Yes.
remember to think like your audience. Don't be afraid to experiment and
Right.
embrace this ever-evolving world of SEO.
Happy optimizing, everybody.
Yes, and a huge thank you to the Ultimate Guide to Keyword Research
Yes, thank you.
for providing such insightful guidance on this journey. We'll be back next time with another deep dive into the fascinating world of digital marketing.